Motivation for intimate partner violence. Male and female intimate partner violence is perpetrated for similar motives. 1. To get back at a partner for emotionally hurting them. 2. Stress or jealousy. 3. To express anger and other feelings that could not be put in words or communicated, and to get their partner's attention. Emotional abuse and control. Emotional abuse is categorized as either expressive, in response to a frustration, or coercive, intended to monitor, control, and or threaten. 80% of individuals have perpetrated emotional abuse. A review of all psychological studies show that 40% of women and 32% of men reported expressive abuse, and 41% of women and 43% of men reported coercive abuse. Domestic violence and protective orders. Some studies have found that family law protective orders reduce continued violence against the victims by almost 80% based on police reports. Domestic violence and family court. If you are in an abusive relationship, in California you can obtain a domestic violence protective order, also known as a domestic violence restraining order. The order may extend to any children involved in the relationship. Family court will consider the issue of domestic violence when making an order regarding custody and visitation. When attending the mandatory family court service counseling, also known as FCS counseling, a victim of domestic violence can request to have a support person present, as well as be interviewed separately from the alleged perpetrator. Family court can consider the issue of domestic violence on the issue of spousal support. How domestic violence issues come into family court. Obtaining a domestic violence restraining order can be filed without having to file a petition for dissolution of marriage, also known as a divorce, or a legal separation, or a nullity of marriage, or a complaint for parentage. Although filing a domestic violence restraining orders between married couples often leads to a petition for dissolution. If the domestic violence restraining order case and the family law case are occurring at the same time in the same family court, normally the family court will consolidate them and issue the cases under the same family law number. Takeaway Part 2. If you are a victim of domestic violence, you should seek a domestic violence restraining order against the alleged perpetrator. Case studies have shown that domestic violence restraining orders reduce further domestic violence and abuse.